Hold on. Mike Fisher. Fish and Chips. I'm going to call him Fish and Chips, even though his full name is Mike Fisher. But I'm going to call him Fish and Chips because since he tried to like say something about owning a restaurant like called Fish and Chips and Dallas Cowboys DFW. They say that... let's see. 56. How's that a penalty? How is that a penalty? But whatever. All right. Let's hear what Mike Fisher has to say.
Yeah. Dante Fowler got benched.
You sure did?
Dante Fowler?
Come on.
Mike Fisher reporting on the Dallas Cowboys. The debacle in Denver behind them, but something still a little bit haunting that maybe will have a positive impact. Cowboys began this preseason in the same manner in which they exited last postseason with a flag-marred loss. Mike McCarthy to us in the media in Denver on that Saturday night after 17-7. You write what you want.
Yep.
And then insisting that last year's penalty problem, league leaders, have nothing to do with this. But number one, he's wrong. And number two, his actions in the game acknowledge that maybe there is something the same about last year that needs to be changed. And so the next thing you know, Dante Flower commits a foul that Mike McCarthy in that game considered so heinous that the veteran defensive end was benched. And Fowler, the 28-year-old former Pro Bowler, wasn't on this team last year, so there is no connection in this particular example. Quote from McCarthy, "That's a discipline penalty. Frankly, that's why Dante was done for the night after that. We can't have that." The violation, the newly acquired edge rusher got flagged for a personal foul when he tried to push an opposing player off a pile. That goof helped Denver score a touchdown in the second quarter. One of many goofs in the game. The Cowboys last year, 141 penalties, that sound right? Including 14 in the playoff loss to the Niners. Now 17 more infractions in this one. While McCarthy vowed all offseason to do something about this problem, the problem hasn't gone away. McCarthy did acknowledge that 17 penalties, clearly way too much. Yes, clearly. But what's the coaching staff supposed to do here? Bench every guy who commits a foul? Bench 17 guys? No, maybe you bench one guy. And maybe you make it a newcomer veteran who is a little bit on the bubble, and maybe that sends a message to the other 17 guys, the other 53 guys, the other 90, now 85 guys. McCarthy trying to not overreact by saying this is just preseason. I don't think it has anything to do with last year. I didn't like the penalties. We talked about it at halftime. We talked about it after the game. By the way, talked about it at halftime, didn't do any good.
Yeah.
We talked about it after the game. Maybe that'll do some good. We'll take a long look at it. In fairness to Fowler, he otherwise had a perfectly solid game. Registered a big hit on the Broncos quarterback on fourth down. Helped Dallas running game look stout. Former number 3 overall pick. In this game, though, at all, demonstrates to you how much of a not lock he is to make this roster. The Cowboys, 20 or so guys who are starters or clearly counted upon, did not participate in that Denver game. Many of those won't play in the second game in the preseason for Dallas at the Chargers this weekend. Dante Fowler is in a fight for playing time, and in that sense, the penalty was costly to the individual, just as these mountains of penalties last year and this year are costly to the team. Maybe a message sent to try to fix that from McCarthy to Fowler to the rest. With the Cowboys, Fish out.
Have a good one, guys.